Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. I'm speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I'm doing a video continuing my list of top 100 favorite albums. Today I'm on number 64 on my list. And for number 64, I have an album called Cosmo's Factory by the band Creedence Clearwater Revival, or also known by many as CCR for short. This is their fifth studio album. It came out in 1970. Very, very popular album. It's the album, I think, anytime you think of CCR and their best album, Cosmo's Factory is usually always considered their best album, highest ranking album. Very good album. Obviously, I have it on my list. What I like about this album is, like, I like CCR. I'm not hugely knowledgeable about CCR. I just know John Fogerty's the lead singer and guitar player. I've heard his name, and I've heard all their big hits, of course, on the radio. But interesting thing about CCR, when I listen to this album, like, it almost feels like a greatest hits album in some ways. And I say that about a couple albums, like Rumors from Fleetwood Mac. A couple albums like that, U2, well, maybe not U2's, but there's several albums that I listen to and I think, wow, sometimes there's only one or two songs I know, and then sometimes there's an album like this where I know 5 or 6 songs. So I always feel like if I know 5 or 6 songs, that's a pretty good album, because there's so many that I just don't even know any of the songs. So to have that many songs that are kind of well recognizable, that are kind of radio hits, it means it was a pretty good album, and it also had definitely a lot of airplay, a lot of popularity. Anyways, and that's Cosmo's Factory, I think. So that's the album. If you want to listen to a CCR album, I would say this is the album to listen to, Cosmo's Factory. What I thought was interesting reading some of the research, it said this was the 5th album in 2 years. And so in 2 years, I guess from 1968 to 1970, they made 5 albums. So, I mean, they were really cranking them out. Making a lot of music at this time. It says that they were considered the most popular band at this time in America. So I didn't think about how popular they are. They're definitely a band that seems like, like I said, I hear them all the time on the radio. They have lots of hits. A lot of people talk about CCR. I didn't think about them being most popular, but I suppose, yeah, they're up there as one of the most popular bands at this time. It says that while most bands went the psychedelic route, CCR is very unique in their sound. I think anytime I hear a CCR song, I know it's CCR. They just have a unique sound to them. It's hard to really compare them to other bands. Like I said, this is saying from my research that a lot of bands, psychedelic rock was really big at this time. Of course, I think you look at bands like Led Zeppelin was very huge at this time. Maybe you go like Who, bands like that. They, from what I described, I was trying to think, how do you describe CCR? They have a bit of a country rock feel to them, I would say. From what I read, it says they combine rockabilly, folk, and R&B, and they call it swamp rock. So I think you hear that a lot. I don't know how many bands you ever hear swamp rock, but I know CCR, you think they have this, I don't know, grittiness, swampiness to the guitar sound that just sounds different. It's interesting, but I think it's very accurate to saying what they sound like. It says that I didn't realize that John Fogerty had an older brother that was in the band. I didn't know much about the band. Like I said, John Fogerty's lead singer, lead vocals. He also plays piano. Also, he was really, also the leader, the front man of the group. It says he also produced the album. He arranged all the music. He basically was the manager for the band. It seemed like, so he was definitely in charge of the band, which obviously sometimes could upset other band members, and there could be some rifts, and also some rifts between him and his older brother, Tom Fogerty, who played rhythm guitar and backing vocals. There's Stu Cook on bass guitar, and Doug Clifford on drums, so a 4-member band, but it says that him and his brother Tom kind of had a rift and really fought and didn't get along during the making of this album, and it sounds like he basically left the band after making this album. So, and it's funny, I had a conversation on Reactions to the Classics on a live stream about brothers that don't get along, and there's a list, and we kind of came up with a list of bands. Seem like brothers that are in bands don't get along very well. Like We talked about the Everly Brothers, the Gallagher Brothers from Oasis, the brothers from Kinks, which I didn't know that well, but I guess they fought a lot. Anyways, there might have been some other ones, but it's like you come up with bands with brothers and they don't get along. And I guess same case in this one. Probably because, I'm guessing because, like I said, John was so in charge, it probably upset some of the other members because he was making all the decisions. It ranked number 413 in Rolling Stone's top 500 albums, so not a huge highly rank in them, but still, of course, in top 500. I'm kind of surprised. It probably should be higher, I would think. It's such a well-received album. It charted number 1 in both the U.S., UK, and Canada, so it went right to number 1. Huge album. It came out, like I said, and it had a lot of singles off here. A lot of times you get singles, you have an A side and B side. A side is really it's really the single, but every single comes with 2 songs. So you put a B side on there, which usually is not a very strong song. So you're getting them a really good song on the A side, not so much on the B side. That's usually your singles. They did a bunch of double A singles, which means, I guess, both sides are really strong songs. They decided to do 2 strong songs on both sides, so they just call it a double A side single. And so they had Traveling Band and Who Will Stop the Rain was a double A side single. Went number 2 in the US, number 8 in UK, number 4 in Canada, so it did very well. Then they had Up Around the Bend and Run Through the Jungle was another double A side. Went number 4 in the US, number 3 in the UK, number 1 in Canada. And then they had Looking Out My Back Door just as a single by itself, and went number 2 in the US, number 20 in the UK, number 1 in Canada. So you got 2 number 1s in Canada. I mean, all top 4 albums in the US, or singles in the US. Not as much in the UK, but definitely the US and Canada did really, really well. These singles, like I said, all these singles are like really well-known songs. That's what I'm most impressed about when I listen to this album. Is, you know, like I said, Traveling Band, Who Stopped the Rain, Up Around the Bend, Run Through the Jungle, Looking Out My Back Door, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, all really well-known CCR songs, all in one album. So that's what makes this album so, I think, so great, and one of my favorite albums to listen to. And just say, yeah, CCR as I think John Fogerty, really great guitar player. I love his guitar sound. He has just a really interesting sound to his guitar. Got a lot of good riffs there. Also a really great rock voice. I mean, he has a very unique rock voice, like I said, anytime you hear it. So yeah, I really enjoy this album just for the great rock guitar playing and for the vocals. I think are really excellent here, and there's some good catchy music numbers here. Some, like I said, some of them have a bit of a country feel to them. I actually like kind of a country rock feel that I think is really good. Some actually have a little more of a blues sound to them too, and those sound good too. So I mean, very, very unique band and unique song selection here. Yeah, so very excellent album. Go to my top 3 favorite songs on the album. Like I said, there's a lot to choose from here. I had somewhat of a hard time choosing this top 3, but in the end I had to go with number 3, Who Will Stop the Rain. Very good acoustic guitar. I love the acoustic guitar on this song, and John's vocals obviously very great, very catchy chorus on there. Some good harmonies actually on the chorus that I really enjoy. Just a really solid kind of rock song from them, kind of a soft rock song for CCR. Number 2, I went with Up Around the Bend, one of their most well-known, I think, most played songs, I would say, on the radio, and I knew about. And I just loved the guitar at the beginning. I love that little guitar riff, bum, 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 and it has like this very unique, interesting sound to it I'd never heard before in other albums. But I don't know how they make that sound, but I love the sound of the guitar, like especially at the very beginning, it really hooks you into the song. And John just has these great, just really rock vocals throughout the whole music, and just seems like they start at 10 and they just continue at a 10 level throughout. And again, another great chorus with some good harmonies there. Good guitar solo in there. Yeah, I love Up Around the Bend. Number 1, I had to go with I Heard It Through the Grapevine, which is a cover song, I believe Marvin Gaye cover song, which is a really well-known song. And it's been covered by many people, but I think originated, I believe, by Marvin Gaye. But they turned into this really good rock, almost I would say R&B or soul or bluesy type song, and it's an 11-minute song, I believe. It's one of the longest songs I've had to listen to. but it has one of the best, I say, grooves to it. Just a bum 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 bum, like that whole riff or whatever you want to call it throughout the whole song. I just love that. Just when you listen to it, you just get into this, like, you know, you want to bob your head, and just like, yeah, I really dig that rhythm there on the guitar, or that riff there. And obviously, again, John Fogerty, great rock vocals. And even though it was so long, I don't actually enjoy it throughout the whole thing. Drumming is absolutely fantastic. I think maybe one of the best things about the song is that drumming on it, combined with guitar and bass, obviously. And there's like, I don't know how many guitar solos, but there's definitely many guitar solos in here, more than one. And the guitar soloing is really fantastic by John Fogerty. And even though it's long, I don't get bored. Like, usually I get bored when the song's, you know, over 5 minutes or something. And so this is like one of those rock songs. I'm like, yeah, just give me more. And that's why I had to put number one, because when I listen to the song, it's just, yeah, I really get into that groove, and I have to like bob my head and just go, yeah, like this is really good. Anyway, so that's why I put that number one. Obviously, the other songs I could fit in that top three that are very good. But anyway, so that's what I went with. So that's Cosmo's Factory, number 64 on my list of top 100 favorite albums. Just let me know in comments what you think about this album, or CCR in general. What are your favorite songs from them, or other albums from them that you like. And just thank you for watching this video and subscribing to my channel and supporting me. And I really appreciate it. Have a good day.